Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fantasy Chat. I'm Xander.
And I'm Ady. This is the podcast where we explore legendary fantasy places and discover how they influence our real world and everyday conversations.
Exactly. So I have to start with my absolute favorite, Atlantis. I've been obsessed with this story since I was probably 8 years old. The whole thing comes from the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who wrote about this incredible advanced civilization that existed about 9,000 years before his time. According to Plato's story, the Atlanteans had amazing technology, beautiful architecture with gold and silver everywhere, and they were incredibly wealthy and powerful. But then they became too proud and greedy.
Oh no.
Yeah, so the gods got angry and destroyed them. The entire island nation sank into the Atlantic Ocean in just one day and one night, gone forever.
Wow, that's so dramatic. But Xander, do you think Plato actually believed this happened?
That's the big question. Most scholars today think Plato invented Atlantis as a metaphor, a story to teach lessons about what happens when civilizations become too corrupt and materialistic. But here's what I love about it.
Yeah?
Atlantis represents this universal fascination with lost golden ages. We all have this feeling that somewhere, sometime, there was a perfect civilization that had all the answers, and we somehow lost it all.
That's really interesting. But what are the pros and cons of this legend?
Great question. The pros are amazing. Atlantis has inspired thousands of years of exploration and scientific research. People searching for it have discovered incredible real underwater archaeological sites. It's also given us countless amazing stories, movies, books.
Right, like that Disney movie.
Exactly. But the cons, people have literally wasted their entire lives and fortunes searching for something that probably never existed. And some people use Atlantis theories to promote really weird, sometimes racist ideas about ancient civilizations or lost superior races.
Oh wow, I never thought about that darker side.
Yeah, it's complicated, but overall, I still love Atlantis because it's everywhere in our culture now. We say something disappeared like Atlantis when it vanishes completely. Every underwater discovery gets the "could this be Atlantis" treatment in the news.
True. And what about your other favorite, Shangri-La?
Oh, Shangri-La. This one's much more recent. It comes from a 1933 novel called Lost Horizon by James Hilton. He imagined this hidden valley in the Himalayas where people live in perfect peace and harmony. And here's the kicker. They age incredibly slowly. Some characters are hundreds of years old but look young.
Hundreds of years old? Sign me up.
Right? What I find fascinating is when Hilton wrote this. It was 1933, right in the middle of the Great Depression, just before World War II. People desperately needed to believe in a place of perfect peace.
Oh, that context makes it so much more meaningful.
Exactly. Shangri-La represents escape from all the stress and conflict of modern life. The pros, it's created this whole tourism industry. Hotels, spas, entire cities have taken the name. Places like Tibet and Bhutan market themselves as Shangri-La destinations.
That's smart marketing.
But that's also the con. Sometimes this romantic fantasy image can cover up the real challenges that people in these regions actually face. Tourists show up expecting paradise, but real life is always more complicated than fantasy.
That's such a good point. And we use it in everyday conversation too, don't we? Like, I finally found my personal Shangri-La when talking about a peaceful place or situation.
Yes, people say that about their favorite vacation spot, their meditation corner at home, even their dream retirement plan. It's become this perfect way to describe any place or situation that brings you inner peace.
I love that. Okay, so now I get to talk about my absolute favorite, El Dorado. And this one's really special to me because it actually started as something completely real, but then transformed into this incredible fantasy.
Wait, it was real? Tell me everything.
So El Dorado literally means the golden one in Spanish. Originally, it wasn't about a place at all. It was about a person. The Muisca people in Colombia had this absolutely incredible ceremony when they chose a new chief.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The new chief would cover his entire body in gold dust, like head to toe gold. Then he would go out onto Lake Guatavita on a raft with his nobles, and they would throw gold and emeralds into the water as offerings to their gods. Finally, the chief himself would dive into the lake, washing off all the gold.
That sounds absolutely magnificent. What an incredible ceremony.
Right? But here's where it gets complicated. When Spanish conquistadors heard about this ceremony, they completely misunderstood it. They thought there must be an entire city made of gold somewhere in South America. This led to centuries of exploration and, unfortunately, terrible exploitation and violence against indigenous peoples.
Oh no, so the search for El Dorado caused real harm.
Exactly. That's definitely the biggest con of the El Dorado legend, the real-world suffering it caused. Thousands of people died in expeditions searching for this golden city. Entire indigenous communities were destroyed or enslaved.
That's heartbreaking. But you said it transformed over time?
Yes, and this is what fascinates me. El Dorado went through this incredible evolution from a person to a place to a pure concept. Now, when we say El Dorado, we mean any place or opportunity where you can get rich quickly and easily.
Like the California Gold Rush.
Perfect example. California was called El Dorado during the gold rush, or today people might call Silicon Valley their El Dorado if they're hoping to get rich from tech, or cryptocurrency, or any investment opportunity that sounds too good to be true.
So it can be both positive and negative.
Exactly. El Dorado represents both incredible opportunity and dangerous illusion. When someone says, "I thought this job would be my El Dorado," they might mean it was supposed to make them rich and successful, but it turned out to be a disappointment or even a trap.
You know what's really striking me as we talk about this? All three of these places represent fundamental human desires, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Atlantis is about our longing for lost wisdom and perfect civilization,
Shangri-La represents our need for peace and escape from daily stress.
and El Dorado embodies our dreams of wealth and easy success, but they all show up in modern culture in such interesting ways.
Like in business names, there are Atlantis casinos and resorts, Shangri-La spas and hotels, El Dorado investment companies and jewelry stores. These names instantly communicate what the business is trying to sell you.
Right. If you see Atlantis Resort, you think luxury and mystery. Shangri-La Spa suggests peace and relaxation. El Dorado investments promise wealth, though maybe you should be a little careful with that one.
Good point. And in movies and TV, every underwater discovery gets the "could this be Atlantis" treatment, even though scientists know it's almost certainly not.
And travel companies love using Shangri-La imagery for any mountain destination, regardless of whether it has any connection to the original story.
What really fascinates me is how these legends shape our expectations about real life. People travel to the Himalayas hoping to find some version of Shangri-La. They invest money dreaming of their personal El Dorado.
That's both beautiful and potentially dangerous, isn't it? These stories inspire us to dream bigger and explore more, but they can also set us up for disappointment when reality doesn't match the fantasy.
Exactly. But I think that tension is what makes these legends so enduring and powerful. They represent our deepest human hopes for knowledge, for peace, for prosperity. Even if we never find these actual places, the search for them pushes us to explore, to create, to imagine better possibilities.
I love that perspective. These legends might not be real places you can visit, but they're absolutely real parts of human culture, language, and imagination.
And for our fantasy investigators out there, these are perfect examples of how ancient stories and mythology become woven into everyday language. When you understand references to Atlantis, Shangri-La, and El Dorado, you're not just learning vocabulary, you're understanding deeper layers of fantasy culture.
Absolutely. You'll encounter these references in movies, books, news articles, casual conversations, advertisements. They're everywhere once you know what to listen for.
And they help make your English more colorful and expressive. Instead of just saying a peaceful place, you can say my own little Shangri-La. It adds richness to your language.
Well, that brings us to the end of our journey to these 3 legendary places. Thank you so much for joining us on Fantasy Chat today. I'm Ady.
And I'm Xander. We hope you enjoyed exploring Atlantis, El Dorado, and Shangri-La with us. These places might exist only in imagination, but their impact on our real world is absolutely tangible.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Fantasy Chat and share it. And we'd love to hear from you. What's your personal Shangri-La? Have you ever chased your own El Dorado? Let us know in the comments.
Thanks for listening, and remember, sometimes the most powerful places are the ones that exist in our hearts and imaginations. We'll see you next time on Fantasy Chat.